This program has been made possible by the friends and partners of Joyce Meyer Ministries.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Enjoying Everyday Life. I have a feeling you are going to be very glad that you are here today, because let me ask you this. Do you take the important time to care for yourself? Do you feel guilty when you take care of yourself? Or is even the thought of it foreign to you? Well, we get it. It certainly isn't unusual to let everything else take priority until you don't have anything left to give. So we decided to talk this out with our podcast friends and our special guest today, Holly Wagner. So we are going to share this with you here on EEL today. Sit back, relax, and get ready to learn how to ditch the guilt, false responsibility, and that martyr mentality, and discover that God really does want you to care for yourself with His help. I want to ask you a question to get started, Joyce, because that's what I do. I just ask Joyce questions.
She's so good at it.
I think people, when we think about self-care, it sounds selfish. Mm-hmm. And, of course, in your new book about aging without getting old, it's one of the main things is that doing today what will matter for our future.
Right.
So how do we understand that it's important and not selfish?
Well, first of all, if you don't take care of yourself, you will get to the point where you cannot take care of anybody else.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Right.
And so many people, especially Christians, were taught to serve and to help and to take care of other people. And then maybe if you throw into that somebody who's insecure, and so they become a people pleaser and they don't want to make anybody mad and they don't want to tell anybody no. And so pretty soon you've got somebody that, just is literally killing themselves in little tiny degrees, thinking that they're doing God's will.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But it's not necessarily God's will for us to say yes to everybody who wants to hear yes. Mm-hmm. And, of course, I tell my story. I made myself sick several times, but the last time I made myself sick enough that it scared the living tar out of me. Yeah. And it took me almost 2.5 years to come back from it. Mm-hmm. And so I do take care of myself now. Yeah. And when I get tired, I rest. Yeah. And I say no a lot. And, and of course, I'm older, but I really hope with this book that people don't think, well, I don't need that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm only 50. I heard somebody say, she was 52, and she said, well, I don't need that yet. But that's exactly when you do.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, people
and
need
32.
it.
And
32.
Yeah,
I need
people
that
need
book.
it in their 20s or in their 30s. Like I asked you one day, and you're 20 years younger than me, I asked you, are you starting to feel any differences in your body? And you shared with me some of the things that you experienced when you got out of the country now that you didn't before.
Do you want to share?
No, you're
so
right.
many different things, but I think that as a Christian, we can be made to feel, without anybody intending to, that, all we should do is for other people.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Like I'm getting ready to do some teaching in the studio here in a couple of weeks on what makes a great man great. Well, it's being a servant.
Yeah.
But being a servant doesn't necessarily mean that you have to say yes to every single thing that everybody asked you to do. What you need to do is know what God wants you to do.
Yeah. Right.
And have the courage to say no to people. How many times does our mouth say yes when our heart's screaming no?
Yeah.
But we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. We don't want to make anybody mad. We don't want anybody mad at us. Yeah. We want everybody to love us. And people pleasing is probably one of the biggest problems, but you're not being selfish if you take care of yourself. You're being foolish if you don't.
The thing I think that's inspiring about you and that you've always shared is your self-care isn't just sitting in a bathtub lighting a candle. Listen, that's awesome, and we should all do that. Yeah. But you actually exercise.
Yeah.
So you take care of yourself.
I actually do.
You know,
that.
so
I
that you have the
exercise.
stamina to do some of the things. So to me, it's like as much as I love just chocolates and a bath, also working out is self-care for me.
Exactly.
Right? So that I can run the race.
Right.
Well, Holly, let's talk about you because you've had some physical trials in your life. I'm sure you had to learn to care for yourself differently going through cancer.
Yeah, for sure. I had to, well, you know, I talked about I had to learn to eat differently. Like eating right is caring for yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, to say no to biscuits is like really hard for me. Like we all have our thing, right? It's biscuits, whatever.
Mine's not a biscuit.
Okay. What was yours? What is it hard for you to say no? Like if it was good for you, you wish you could eat it.
It would be pasta for me. I could eat pasta every single day of my life.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Me too.
One of the things that me and my girlfriends did last night, we did.
Thanks for inviting me, by the way.
I'm so sorry. Whatever. Next time.
Whatever.
I promise,
Jay,
girl.
thanks.
I promise. But last night, a group of us got together on a Zoom. And we had fun party games, and we were all around the country, and so it was really fun.
That's a great idea.
It was so much fun, and we actually surprised one of our friends who was having a hard time. Her husband actually helped put it together, and we all came together, and it was about 20 of us on a Zoom call, and we just were in our jammies,
That's a good idea.
and we just ate and played games. So like that's what I said last night because
That's so fun.
These times you have to be creative in order to spend that.
Well, you know, the thing is everybody has to do what works for them.
Yeah.
Like what you just described might not be restful to me.
Right.
To me, I love
How do you
quiet.
make the Zoom thing work?
Like if I was, how do you make the Zoom thing work? First of all, I'd have to have somebody come and sit with me to do it. But trying to talk to 20 different people around the country, I'd probably be going,
Right.
And so, but for me, I love like just quiet.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I'll tell my husband, just go somewhere. I just want it to be quiet. So each person, like people listening to us, I don't want you to feel like you have to do what I do or what you do or what you do or what you do or what you do. You know, you need to know what helps you relax.
That's right.
And whatever that is for you, it could be a walk, it could be a nap, it could be something quiet. But it's you finding what helps you relax.
That's good.
And even connect with God. I think that just that connection with God really helps you relax.
Do you think it's true that changes per season, like for whatever season you're in? So like I have little kids, so there are certain things I just am not going to be able to do right now, but that you're able to change those as you grow in different seasons?
And one of the groups of people that have been on my heart for this is like all the young moms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we can do things. I mean, I can do whatever I want to now. You know, you get old enough, you can do whatever you please.
Here's a question for the young moms. It's when was the last time you went to the bathroom alone?
Yeah,
How old is my oldest? 6 years ago.
yeah, right. 6 years ago.
Okay, that's somebody's definition of self-care. Going potty by myself.
But even for a young mom, and maybe there's a few people who couldn't even do this, but you will spend money on some things, but would you spend money to get somebody to watch your kids once a month so you could just go?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, say, well, you should.
Because I would feel nothing but guilt.
Yeah, but see, you
We gotta
shouldn't
fix
do that.
We're fixing that. We're
Well,
having an
let's fix it.
intervention right
Okay,
here.
okay, I'm ready. I'm listening.
Sit on the table here in the middle.
Move those flowers out of the way.
You know a statement that I am tired of hearing from people?
Uh-oh.
I can do without that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
I can do without that. Well,
Absolutely.
You know what? Anybody can do without a lot of things, but that doesn't mean you should.
Right.
The question is, should you? And you need to get to the root of why you feel guilty
Yeah.
when you do something for yourself.
Well, let me tell you. Because the Lord showed me today. Let me tell you why.
Let's have a session. Why don't we?
Let's talk.
I feel validated when I am busy all the time.
yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, there's a lot of us like that.
All my friends, let's all talk about this together.
Yeah.
They're leaving you out there on the limb.
Yeah, y'all are just watching. It makes me feel good about myself because I'm doing it. I'm probably the only one capable of
Well,
doing
why
all
do you
these
think
things.
I almost worked myself to death?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Because I felt better when I was accomplishing something
Oh, yeah.
than I did. I felt guilty if I was doing nothing.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. I've learned some lessons the hard way, and I would really like to hope that my experience can help somebody not have to go through
It is. It's helping.
what I went through to learn. There's no reason. You listen to Mama.
Yes, ma'am. You have my eyes.
There is no reason for you to feel guilty when you do things for yourself. You're actually being very unwise if you don't.
That's right.
Okay.
Selah.
Yeah. It's hard because the world does not tell you that, and I put so much on myself, and that's not where my worth comes from. Is what I do.
Yeah.
God loves me for me, so I don't need to prove anything.
I know, but that's everybody
Good.
that has this problem. That's part of that problem.
Yeah.
They feel more worthy.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I know, like when I was growing up, not only was I sexually abused by my dad, but he was really mean, and he didn't enjoy life, so he didn't want anybody else to. And I remember getting in trouble for laughing or having fun, but as long as I was working, he was okay.
Oh, interesting.
So I grew up with that.
In your mind.
As long as I'm working,
Yeah.
everybody's going to be happy with me, and so then I put that into my relationship with God.
Yeah.
As long as I'm working, you know.
So, there are many people who are in that situation where either they're getting their worth and value out of everything that they feel that they have to accomplish, or they just don't know another way to do life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are in a situation for a period of time where you have to stretch yourself.
Right.
But one of the things that I believe with all my heart is if God wants you doing something, he will give you the grace to do it.
Amen.
Yeah.
And if there's no grace on you and you find yourself complaining about it all the time and being miserable, then you need to find another solution. You need to ask for help. You need to go to other family members and say, I can't do this by myself anymore. We're not very good at saying, I can't.
Right. Or help me. I don't think we're always that great at asking for help.
No, we're not.
So I think that's one of the best
Yeah.
ways to
Take care
to
of
help in situations is just say, I just need some help. And I think we're not that great at that.
Yeah.
I remember one of the biggest things that made me realize how much I didn't take care of myself almost 18 years was the fact when I went to the grocery store for the first time after my daughter, went to Florida with her dad for a little bit. And I didn't even know what to get from the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was so used to getting things that everybody else wanted. It was a simple thing like that I started crying. I'm in a grocery store like, I don't know what to get myself. Like, I'm so used to, and I was programmed. I didn't even need a list. I just would get the same things but I'm like, I got everything that they liked. Then I had to start asking myself, what do I like? So even if you're a caregiver, it's different than my story, but even if you're a caregiver, a simple thing of self-care could just be add something on that grocery list that you like. Like,
That's exactly
consider
right.
yourself, even in the smallest of things.
Get the biscuits.
Get the biscuits. Even not
biscuit.
every day now. Don't get them every day, but get them sometimes.
That's good. Don't get them every day.
Okay.
Just one biscuit a month.
One biscuit.
Oh, yeah. No. Please, every day.
That's really good, though, because it is sometimes the little things that
Yeah.
mean a great deal.
Yes.
If you can start with something small and begin finding those things that give you a little satisfaction, give you a little respite, God's little winks to you, you know, those things are so important. And then you'll begin finding maybe a little larger gap here and there. And before you know it, you're learning, I guess, the way that God really wants us to care for ourselves and not feeling as guilty about it. It does change, doesn't it? The more you start to do those things, you feel less guilt along the way.
Yeah.
Well, yes, you do. And, I'm thinking about you asking about, back to you again.
Okay. Back to you. I thought we had moved on.
I just, no,
But Aaron.
you talked about the seasons of life.
Yeah.
And it's true. When you're young and you have little kids, I watch my daughter-in-law and she's homeschooling
She's amazing.
4 little boys. I don't know how she does it. And then I remember that I raised 4 kids and started a ministry when I had a baby and 3 teenagers. And I don't know how I did that either, but that's part of the reason why I'm writing the books that I'm writing now. But something I think that it's important to say to everybody, we make excuses about just about everything.
Yeah.
But, and please hear me when I say this, if you want to do something bad enough, you will find a way to do it.
Yeah, that's really
Exactly
good.
right.
I mean, you will.
Yeah. We started and pretty much already answered that question about when I'm busy, does it make me feel more important, like I matter? Here's a question for everyone. You don't have to write this on the board, but when you're busy, does it make you feel like God loves you more? And I think that's something that a lot of people deal with. They think if I don't do all these things for God, I'm going to let him down. He won't be happy. With me. I need to keep striving in order to earn whatever I need. And, you know, we can say that's not the way God works, but sometimes it's harder to get that in deeper.
But that was like, I feel like that was the lesson for me, like in the last 2 years, was something I just alluded to. And he's like, it's just being still.
Yeah.
Right. Because it says, be still and know that I am God. Maybe if I'm going to really know who he is, I have to be still. Right? And that's not my strength, right? That's not my go-to. There's some people that's easier for them, but it isn't for me. I'm the human doing, not the being.
Right.
Right? So the doing things, I like to pray, I like to work. I mean, even the spiritual disciplines, I like the doing ones.
Right.
Right? So for me, right, it was the care I had, because I was going to be in a not good place if I didn't.
Yeah.
Right? So just being still, and letting him talk to me, breathe deeply, you know, that stillness.
Yeah.
Was a huge habit change for me.
I had that happen this morning. So I was praying and getting ready for today, and I was doing the things. I was singing the worship music and reading the Bible. And then all of a sudden I just sat still, and I got so emotional because when I was still before God, it's like his love just washed over me. And had I not just sat there for a second, I would have missed that moment.
Right.
Because I was doing the things for God.
Right.
Yeah. I was a proclaimed Martha. Like,
Oh, yes.
I was like, I just got to keep going. Like I'm a pastor's kid. I've been in ministry all my life and grew up doing church and doing ministry. And this past Easter was my very first Easter not doing. And I felt almost guilty. Like, I'm not leading worship or putting on a big production. Like, you know.
Are you still a Christian? I'm just wondering.
Exactly. I had to ask myself that. I said, am I saved? Like, I'm not leading worship on those Easter. Like, it felt wrong. And so, but God literally said, just sit down, girl. He told me just to sit down. And he just said, you may never get one of these again, you know, like where I'm not doing. And so that this year has been one of those years where he's just caused me to be still and be a Mary, you know, instead of a Martha, you know,
and it's not an easy shift sometimes.
It's not,
right?
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, what do I do? Like, how do I just be a Christian without doing work? And
So let's have a plan, right? Let's have a strategy. So write down one thing that you all think about that you can stop doing to give yourself more time for yourself and for your time with God. Is there one thing that you can think of? I'll give you mine as an example.
Yeah, I'd like to copy.
Yeah, here's an example. Less Netflix marathons.
Oh.
Yeah, so, you know, that means watching a lot of stuff on TV that, you know, it's just one of those things that I can easily cut out and spend more. When I say productive, I don't mean active. I mean time that matters. Time that... is, for me, with the Lord, not binge watching Netflix.
Yeah.
So that's an example for me. Anybody have anything you're writing down on your boards? I see some of our audience writing. I see some of our panel is not. That's
Wait,
all right.
Did you write naps on there? You're going to give up naps?
Oh, yeah.
Naps? Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. What are you giving that one up for?
Maybe she has lots of naps.
You have too many naps? Is that
Too many
okay.
naps.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else? What we have? Scrolling social media. That is a good answer.
Oh,
That is a good one. Answering my phone so much. That's great. We don't have to answer the phone
I
every
take
time
that
it rings.
phone to the bathroom with me. It's just ridiculous.
That's a good one.
Overthinking. Oh, Jay. That's a really good one.
Oh, that's a
You want
very
to talk
good
about
one.
that?
Yeah, I just spend a lot of time thinking about what I could be doing when I could either be resting or doing the thing I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I should do this or do that, and maybe it'll turn out like this. And I always tend to like almost foreshadow what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wasted time. Like sometimes I could even overthink the outcome.
Yeah.
Then it becomes worry at
Yeah,
times, and
that's
so
good.
I need
Well,
to step in.
people who have never stepped out into this area, which there's a lot of people watching that need this desperately, but we're not going to have enough time to talk here tonight to give them all the answers they need.
They get your book.
Yeah. Well, God will show you what you need to do if you'll listen to Him. And it's going to be a little bit different for every person. Like you said, you went to the grocery store and you didn't even know what to buy for yourself because you were so used to buying for everybody else. Well, when I first started trying to get my life straightened out, probably 15 years ago, somebody said, well, do some things that you like. What do you like to do?
I have no idea.
What do I like to do?
I couldn't think of anything that I liked to do because I hadn't done anything
Yeah.
except work.
Yeah.
Write books and do conferences and, the call on my life and helping other people. And God just wants us to have balance. I mean, I'm called to do what I'm doing.
Right.
And I'm glad I've written every book I've written, and I'm glad I've done every conference I've done. But in the midst of that, there were things that I could have said no to
Right.
that were not things I was called to do. They were things that I felt like I should do.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Even like doing people favors. No,
Yeah.
We all want to do people favors, and we should do people favors. But I finally thought, I'm spending all my time doing favors for all these other people,
Wow.
and then I still have to do what I have to do.
Right. For you.
because this is my responsibility.
Right.
And so what I do now is I say no to a lot more of those things.
Right.
Because that's not the responsibility God's given me. He's given me this responsibility. And I do things for people, but I can't just do things for people and still have time to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes just the weight and the pressure we're all dealing in the world right now.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like overthinking. You read something, do I need to respond? Do I need to respond right now? How do I respond right now?
Yeah. What if I don't?
What if I don't? What if I,
Yeah.
it's like, so that just steals my joy. Like it just takes anxiety from me. And I'm like, okay, stop it, Holly.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry, we were talking about this, the weight of this on your shoulders. You just love people.
Yeah.
Love the ones in front of you. So, how you doing? I love you.
I love you too.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like love these people. Don't feel like you have to answer for everything. And I just think even taking that pressure off.
Yeah.
That's so good. I think a lot about false responsibility.
Yeah, that's the word for it. That's a good word for it.
I know that's a big thing that I carry is a lot of false
Well,
responsibility.
I had a big problem with a false sense of responsibility.
No, that's good. That's a really good way to put
And here
it.
again, it got started in my childhood because I felt like that my mother wasn't taking care of me, but somehow or another I felt like I had to make sure that she didn't find out, what my dad was doing to me, because he had always said, you better not tell anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And so I took the responsibility of keeping her fixed, and I just carried it into my adult life and you want
That's a terrible burden.
You want somebody to be responsible? Just tell me what you need. I'll get on it right away.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer of, like, with social media and things like that, because that's the world we live in, and I'll be 40 this year, so I don't feel like I'm that old. Thank you.
You're young.
And look at Joyce, she's like, no, you're not. Thank you.
To be 40.
The good old days.
It was a good year.
It was a good year. Thanks. I can't wait. But I do know that social media does give a lot of valid information, and so I do value it. But I have put parameters and boundaries around, certain days I don't look, so I just think, if it's not your cup of tea, then of course don't sip it. But if it is something where you get your information, of course, like, just put boundaries like we do with everything. Because I do get a lot of information, and it helps me to even keep in contact with my daughter and know what she's looking at and ingesting. So, of course, there's boundaries and things that are happening, and knowing what's happening, and as believers to know what's happening in our world real time. We do have the advantage of hearing the testimonies of other people, or how many. Many people are dealing with anxiety and need help and have social issues and things like that. It's just a bunch of things that are going on that we as believers can speak into. Of course, I'm not saying talk about everything, because it's not our place with that, with the sense of responsibility. But I do think as believers, we can take an active. in certain
sure.
things. And social
No,
media
for
does
sure.
help that, but keep boundaries in there, of course.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
overwhelm yourself.
boundaries is the big word to all this.
Yeah.
You know, we all need to have boundaries in our life. You know, you need to have safe friends.
Yeah.
You need to have a safe place
Yeah.
for yourself, and it's not wrong to protect yourself, and it's not wrong to take a nap, and it's not wrong to rest, and
Unless you're taking too many naps.
yeah.
That's wrong.
Some days I take too many naps. God didn't call us to kill ourselves.
No.
Yeah.
He wants you to take time to enjoy life. He said work 6 days, rest 1. And so obviously it seems like we're supposed to work a little bit more than we rest. But if you don't get the rest,
Right.
then, you know, how many Sabbaths do you owe your body?
Okay, friends, what are some of the things that stood out to you from today's show? How about the fact that it's okay to say no? That is so important sometimes. Or the fact that it's not selfish to take care of yourself. You see, it's such a small word, no, but it's a powerful one when it comes to making sure that you're not overcommitting. And today, we have an encouraging resource that will help you do that will help you learn the importance of taking care of yourself. In fact, that is the name of this resource. It's a single teaching from Joyce that you can get on audio for absolutely free. And in this, you will learn some of those important things, dig more deeply into some of the things that we talked about today on the program. Learn that it isn't selfish to take care of yourself. Learn that it's so easy to put everyone else above you. In fact, Joyce talks about how she did that in her life. And we are supposed to count others as more important than ourselves, but we can't always be at the bottom of the list and never get to it. God needs us to be strong and healthy to serve Him. So get this free audio download today and begin taking care of yourself because we love you.
Watch episodes of Enjoying Everyday Life. Read daily devotionals. Follow a Bible study plan with the new Joyce Meyer Ministries app. Search Joyce Meyer in your app store and download the new Joyce Meyer Ministries app today.
Well, if you had to describe the current state of the world, what words come to mind? Division, strife, anger. Yet in spite of the challenges we face, the love of God has the power to change people's hearts. That's why I'm so excited about my latest book, Loving People Who Are Hard to Love. This book will teach you how to find and give hope to a world in desperate need of God's love.
Loving People Who Are Hard to Love. Order your copy today.
We hope.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, you grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise to the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hope you have enjoyed today's program. Please contact us or visit joycemeyer.org to share your prayer request or partner with us in sharing Christ and loving people all across the globe. This program has been made possible by the friends and partners of Joyce Meyer Ministries. program has been made possible by the friends and partners of Joyce Meyer Ministries.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Enjoying Everyday Life. I have a feeling you are going to be very glad that you are here today, because let me ask you this. Do you take the important time to care for yourself? Do you feel guilty when you take care of yourself? Or is even the thought of it foreign to you? Well, we get it. It certainly isn't unusual to let everything else take priority until you don't have anything left to give. So we decided to talk this out with our podcast friends and our special guest today, Holly Wagner. So we are going to share this with you here on EEL today. Sit back, relax, and get ready to learn how to ditch the guilt, false responsibility, and that martyr mentality, and discover that